Hey guys, it's Tandy. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and for today's video I will be teaching you guys how to make your social media profiles visually pleasing. So without any further ado, let's go on with today's video. I preface the video by saying this is all just advice. Remember, beauty is in the eye of the beholders. What might be visually pleasing to me might not necessarily be visually pleasing to you. Keep in mind that social media is what you make it, so do not feel pressured to follow my advice just to fit a certain standard. And remember that if social media becomes toxic for you, to always take a break and do what's best for your mental health. The first app I'll be talking about today is Instagram. So you might know Instagram is one of the more picture-perfect social media apps, and indeed it is, but it earned that stereotype only because people mostly post their best photos on Instagram. So keep that in mind when just like going through Instagram, and don't be daunted by the fact that everyone has such good photos when really most of the time those photos are actually the product of many takes of photos. The first thing I want to talk about when it comes to your Instagram is your bio. So your bio slash username is like the first thing people see when they get onto your Instagram page, so make sure it is definitely what you want to represent you. Even if your account is private, people can see your bio, so don't put anything that might be sensitive information. Just a little tip. So I recommend using emojis in your bio. Here are my favorite emojis right there, and the first thing oh my gosh, can I speak? The first thing I want to go into when it comes to your bio is what to put in your bio. Basically, remember that bio is short for biography, so you want your bio to be about yourself. I see a lot of people put like their graduation year, their school, if they're comfortable. Remember, everyone can see your bio. I've seen people put a Bible verse. I don't know if I already said that. If they're religious, I've seen people put a quote that they feel like represents them, and basically a lot of different things. So you have pretty much a big canvas to fill when it comes to your bio. I mean, you do have a character limit, but make sure it's just short and sweet because you want people to read your bio, don't you? I would recommend typing in lowercase when you're doing your bio because I feel like it just looks cuter to type in lowercase. It's a more softer feel. Remember, keep it nice and short and sweet. And yeah, for your name, which is right above your bio, I recommend typing again in lowercase and using some fonts. There's a lot of cool font apps that you can do to copy and paste different words and different fonts for you to put on your Instagram bio. I'd also recommend using like star icons and different like icons that you can get on different websites. If you don't know what I'm talking about, here's a picture of my bio, and you can kind of see what I'm talking about there. With my name, I've got 2 stars on either side, and I also recommend typing in lowercase and putting spaces between each letter for your name. It definitely makes lowercase stand out more without it being capital. Profile picture, I recommend putting whatever you want for it to be a profile picture. Like, honestly, it doesn't really matter. I tend to change my profile picture very rarely, but when I do, it's like photos that I really like. But it's your Instagram, so you can do what you want. Next thing I'll be talking about when it comes to Instagram is your Instagram story. So if you don't know what a story is, it's basically like an Instagram post that stays on your page for 24 hours. Basically, the purpose of this is just to post posts that you don't really think are necessary to be on your main page, but also that you still want people to see. I've seen a lot of people post like when they're hanging out with their friends, just like on holidays, like smaller holidays like Father's Day and Mother's Day and like Earth Day and all that. I've also seen people post on their stories like food or like experiences that they've had that they don't really want to put on their main page. I've seen people post on their stories like basically reposting what other creators have posted just to bring more awareness. I've seen people highlight their recent posts so that more people go ahead and check out their recents. There's many different things you can do with your story, so I'll just be honing in on a couple of them, but remember that. So when doing your stories, I would recommend having like a color scheme that goes with the photo that you'll be putting on your story. That way it's just more visually pleasing, and I recommend playing a lot with different fonts and like doodling on it. In the next clip, you'll see me give you some examples of some really cute Instagram story ideas. Just look online, look on Pinterest, look on YouTube, and see what other people have to say so you get more inspiration of what to put on your Instagram story. The type of story post I did was a new post. So basically what I did is I took my recent, put it on my story, And then using the font strong, I wrote the word new post, the phrase new post 3 times. And then I turned them all different shades of green, using greens from the picture, and I made it going from light to dark. It took me so long to finally find the perfect shade, but once I did, it turned out really nicely. Then I laid the phrase new post over each other, all 3 of them over each other for like a 3D look. And I basically messed it up. That's where the darkest shade is in the middle. And then using like the coloring tool, I made dots using like that sparkly version of the pencil. And I made green dots. Then using the GIF thing I found a GIF that said tap here and put it all over the story. The next story is going to be like a bestie story for like when you're hanging out with your friends. And basically using the font strong, I wrote the word bestie all over the side of the story, and I staggered the letters, as you guys can see. And then I basically made all the letters brown using shades of brown that I found on my sister's face. Yeah, that's my sister, by the way, you guys. So I basically made each letter a different shade of brown, and it made it a really cool like monochromatic look. I really liked it. And then once I finally found like the correct sizing, because like for some reason every letter like ended up being a different size, I added dots using that same tool that I did in the last story. And can you guys tell I like dots? And it turned out really, really good, and I might actually use this type of story in the future. So the next one I did was a happy birthday post, and I got 2 pictures of myself, which is pretty easy to do on a story. Basically, you just put one photo on your story and then go into your photo app on your phone and then copy the other photo, and you can add it as a sticker if that makes any sense. And here I am. It took me so long to finally find the perfect size for each photo. I put them both on opposite ends of the story, and here I am just resizing it and like resizing it and resizing it. It literally took forever, and I have no idea why I took that long. And then I finally began to type. I typed the word happy letter by letter, and using different colors from the photo as like a border around the letters, and it turned out really, 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 really cute. Excuse my notification. So I wrote the word happy on top of it, and then I kind of like repositioned them to make sure that they were just how I wanted it to. Then I repositioned the pictures, and then I wrote the word 13th, I believe. Oh, I typed the number 13th. And then I changed it to the font neon, and then I wrote birthday in the font typewriter and used the same border as the letter P. And then I changed that font to neon and that font to typewriter. I got this idea off of Pinterest, but I didn't want to just make it exactly how I saw on Pinterest, so yeah. Then I wrote the @ which would be my @ but like obviously your friend's @ whoever's having the birthday. Then I wrote insert long birthday message here, LOL, because I didn't really have a long birthday message in my mind to type yet. And then I added dots using my favorite tool. And then this next one is like the sunset story. So basically, using the font typewriter, I wrote the word sunset 3 times. And then I took the time sticker. I thought that was really cute. And then I made each word different colors going from dark to light. And then I wrote a line using just the regular marker tool. And that's how the sunset story turned out. Then the next one is like a vacation one. And I took this one when I was on vacation in Fiji. So I basically typed out the word Fiji letter by letter using the font classic like I did in the birthday post. And I basically staggered them up and down. And you'll see why I did this later. And then I took the marker tool and like made lines so it looks like it was hanging from the top of the page. And then using the font neon, I wrote the word
for the actual Instagram posts. So basically, I feel like that a consistent editing style is really, really visually pleasing for me. And that's something that I definitely want to create and maintain in the future. If you check out my Instagram, you'll still only have 2 posts. But my most recent post is the type of editing style that I want to continue for the rest of my page. Shameless self promo, go follow my Instagram at _t.h.a.n.i_ in the description box down below if you didn't quite catch that. And yeah, basically I do feel like it's pretty cute to have like a consistent editing style, I recommend using Vsco to edit your photos, but you also need to find your editing style for yourself. I do recommend checking out on Pinterest if you're having trouble like finding a style that's like the best for you. On Pinterest, you'll see a lot of different photos and how people edit them, and even some tips and tricks on how to edit your photos. So some editing styles I do know of are like the beach aesthetic, which really focuses on the orange and teals of the photo. The tan aesthetic that like really focuses on like more earthy, like natural tones in the photos. There's the Vsco thing, the Vsco girl thing, which like uses the Vsco C1 filter. There are so many different, like the neon aesthetic, there's so many different photo editing styles, so make sure you just find the one that's like the best for you. Editing style, be consistent in posting. If your account is just for fun and you just use your Instagram just to like hang out with to connect with your friends and all that, don't feel like you have to have a certain posting schedule. But if you're looking to build like an influencer like following, I would recommend posting pretty often, consistently, so that people don't forget about your account. So the whole editing thing, if you choose to use like Facetune to edit your body or edit like blemishes on your face or stuff like that, totally go ahead and go for it, because that's your photo, that's your phone, that's your choice. But if you get the question whether or not you edit your photo and you do choose to answer the question, please answer it honestly, because it could sometimes create false like images, and especially like younger kids' minds of what they think people should look like. Again, if you choose to answer that question, don't feel pressured to put like a whole disclaimer in every photo, because that's kind of unnecessary. And also, if you're darker skin like me, please refrain from like lightening your skin in photos. You're just as beautiful, just the way you are. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, and don't lighten your skin. There's no need to. And that goes on the other side. If you feel like you're very pale, don't over tan your skin in photos. You are beautiful just the way you are, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. The second app I'll be talking about today is Pinterest. So basically what Pinterest is used for is to find inspiration for different things, anything under the sun really, whether it be crafts, hair ideas, nail ideas, bedroom ideas. Like there's so many different things that you can find on Pinterest. It's crazy. Basically how it works is Pinterest is basically a virtual bulletin board where you can find photos and pin them to different boards, which basically saves them in a folder for you to reference later. So I definitely recommend organizing the pins that you like in different boards so it's easy to access. And when you're naming your boards, type in lowercase and add emojis. It'll make them really cute, really visually pleasing. I do recommend making boards like I said already, organizing everything to a board so it's easier to get to. Also, add stuff to your board consistently so you get more similar content in your For You page on Pinterest. I have 6 boards. I've got photo editing, Bible ideas, bedroom ideas, hair ideas, outfit ideas, and I think that's it. I feel like I'm missing one, but I think that's it. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I do have, and I would recommend, again, dividing them into boards. Third app I'll be talking about today is Vsco. Basically, if you don't know what Vsco is, it's a photo editing / social media app, which I use to edit all of my Instagram photos. Both Instagram photos that I have. I used Vsco to edit it. I didn't really post on Vsco up until like last week. Really, I used to only use it for photo editing, which is, I feel like it was his main purpose, and then only like recently did people start to keep posting and posting and posting. By recently, I mean like within the last 2 years. But basically take the advice that I told on Instagram, use the advice that I said about Instagram on Vsco, because they're basically pretty similar. Can I speak today? They're basically pretty similar. Post whatever your heart wants to post. Like, post what makes you happy, honestly. There is like a Vsco like bio. It's called a description, I believe. I don't know for sure. But it's similar to an Instagram bio, although there's one big difference. They tend to be like one sentence or one word or even just emojis. So don't put too much thought into your Vsco bio, because honestly, it's not that deep. Yeah. So maintain an editing style on your Vsco if you would like to, which is pretty easy because Vsco is also the app that you're using to edit the photos for the most part. So there's not much switching and changing of apps that you have to do when it comes to Vsco. So that's what makes it pretty easy too. The app I'll be talking about today is TikTok. Basically, I recommend filming your TikToks like in your room or in your backyard or with your or when you're with your friends, stuff like that. If you're filming in your room, if you have LED lights, that's pretty cool. You can use them in your TikToks. I would recommend using purple, blue, and like pink in your TikToks and using the bling filter, and it really makes your videos really cute, so you can try it out. If you're outside, I would recommend using the G6 filter as well as the bling filter, and it makes your videos, again, look pretty cute. I would recommend linking your Instagram in your TikTok bio if you want more people from TikTok to go ahead and follow your Instagram. Unfortunately, you guys, this wonderful video has come to an end. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to the end. I really, 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 really appreciate it. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more new content from me. And remember that this is all just advice and that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And whatever you want to post, post what your heart wants to post. Do not feel the need to conform to a certain social standard, because if it makes you unhappy, it'll show. So remember that you're beautiful, and don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise. And also, since this video is about social media, I do want to say that if you're a child, please get your parents' permission before having social media. And if your parents do say no, I do not condone, nor do I recommend sneaking behind your parents' backs, because it'll just not work out in the long run. And whatever your parents are doing and whatever your parents are saying is because they have your best interest in mind. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching again. Bye!